PlayStation and Nintendo exclusives model is wrong and broken, analyst says. I think this fool's an idiot, but that's just my opinion. We're all allowed to have opinions, right? And I'm sure some of you guys will have differing opinions because I've already seen them before. I've seen people in my comments. Specifically, there's like one guy, he always would post the same thing, but I've seen other people have, similar thoughts. But like one guy would be like, every company, Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, they all should all come together and just put one system out there. Something weird. But I do hear people say exclusives suck and are boo-boo-ness type of deal. And I tend to disagree because when it comes to console gaming, why the hell would you buy one console over the other if there weren't exclusives you wanted to play? Is it just straight up brand loyalty? That's the way it seems nowadays anyway. Like console wars have become really stupid. Like it reminds me of back in the day, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because social media and stuff and all the crazy people are out there. But yeah. The console wars, people do have their preference. Some people are just like, hey, it's just a system that like I'm accustomed to, I'm good with. Bam, whatever, right? Your choice is your choice. But typically, I want a system because of its exclusives that it has for its system. But some people think that that is a negative thing. And I've been bringing this up lately about how like I really don't see the biggest point in the world with some consoles nowadays because their games are available on PC and all over the place, all over your face type thing, as the ladies like to say. And there's just not been, it's just, there's not been as much that interests me for certain consoles anymore. Like, I'm not a fanboy. Don't get your nipples in it, all twisted up. But man, I do miss some of the franchises that were exclusive to PlayStation. But them fools, they've shut down tons of studios, and yeah, those exclusives are long gone. It seems, ridiculous stuff. With companies like that. Microsoft, they buy everybody up, and then they put their games everywhere, or not necessarily everywhere, not on the Switch, but like some games are going to PlayStation, some are on PC. Most of them are on PC. The only company that they make exclusives, and it's like they're not kind of all over the place, just Nintendo. And, this guy here, this analyst, is saying that their model is broken and wrong. But let's take a quick look, because it's not a long article. There's a video attached to it. We're not going to watch it, but Michael Patcher's Pactor is part of this little segment on a YouTube channel, the Pactor Factor. And he talks about this kind of stuff, but it states Wedbush securities analyst Michael Pachter has opined that the PlayStation Nintendo exclusives model is wrong and broken. In an episode of the Pachter Factor, the veteran analyst suggested that Microsoft's taken the correct approach by bringing some of its games to other platforms while keeping others exclusive. I've stated, I'm not necessarily against what Microsoft's been doing, but from the get-go with the Series X and S, it was like, and cloud gaming and them putting their games on PC, it was almost to me like, well, they're making a reasonably priced PC that people can buy, and that barrier to entry for PC gaming is kind of, the bar is lowered. And I don't necessarily have an issue with that, but it does kind of, to me, it makes the ecosystem of that brand seem different than it used to be, type of thing. And then, PlayStation, they put some of their game, like they're forced to put MLB The Show on everything, but that's a whole other story. Not even worried about that. But some of their games go to PC, and usually it's a while later. But their exclusives, where are they all at? Last of Us remaster HD ×2 type of thing. I don't care about those kind of games. Like Last of Us, I don't like that style of game, so I never played it. But PlayStation hasn't had much that I've cared for either. Nintendo, on the other hand, they've constantly just done what they've done, and they are like one of the most profitable businesses in Japan. But this Jack Nugget fucking thinks that it's wrong and it's outdated. It's a broken model. They state Microsoft, Microsoft ruffled quite a few feathers among the Xbox community by announcing games like Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush for the PS5. Yes, because you have that that brand loyalty to that console. Now they see that the enemy gets their games, they're not going to be happy. Like if somebody who bought a $200 Nintendo Switch, and then all of a sudden, all the Mario games and Pokemon games and all that stuff was like available on PC on Steam, I'm sure Nintendo fans would be upset too. It's just kind of the way it is, that brand loyalty. But they go on to state that the company has repeatedly indicated that it wants to move away from complete first party exclusivity and wants to bring some of its lineup to as many platforms as possible. Whole different business model, man. According to Pactor, Sony and Nintendo are still following an outdated model that worked up until the mid 2000s, but doesn't make financial sense anymore. The Nintendo model and the Sony model of proprietary titles and proprietary platforms is the wrong model. It's a broken model. Supporting your content by managing the distribution on your platform is like a movie studio owning a chain of movie theaters, and the only way you can watch their movies is in their theaters. It's the dumbest freaking thing in the world, man. It's kind of stupid, but I understand the point. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Like, is there anything else comparable? I get his comparison, but you buy a Nintendo Switch console, Nintendo profits off of that because Nintendo for the longest time they've made a profit off of their hardware, so that's a product that they sell to us. Remember these companies. This is why I don't like. I'm not a crazy fanboy. I love stuff on each of these consoles, but some people out there, they get it twisted and think like these companies owe them stuff or they're their friends. They don't give a crap about you. They just want your money. They're businesses. That's what they do. They make money. And Nintendo has freaking mastered that with all sorts of techniques, different, ways of putting out products. And some of it we can all like think is a little shady at times, the artificial scarcity. Like I still think Nintendo was a genius with the bullshit that they pulled with the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and all the Amiibo figures, how things were so hard to get. It created this mentality with people like, Nintendo's freaking hot right now, dude. And I think that's one of the things that really led to the success of the Nintendo Switch. A great piece of hardware, outdated since the day it came out, but I'm of the mentality that it's about the games. Like, I don't need things to look photorealistic. But Nintendo, man, they know what they're doing. They've had periods of time where it doesn't seem like they know what they're doing. But these guys know what they're doing, like it or dislike it, doesn't freaking matter. They're making a buttload of money out there. And their business model of putting Mario games on Nintendo consoles works. Putting Legend of Zelda games on Nintendo consoles works. They're making money. Would they make more money spreading that shit out all over the place? Maybe. But that's not what they want to do. They're doing just fine. They make money off of their hardware. If they weren't a hardware making business and they just put things everywhere else, then great. Then they make money that way. But they make money off of selling hardware, selling controllers, selling games. They run the fucking show, man. They make money off of everybody else who sells games, just like Steam and everybody else who has an online shop on their console or, that sells games, that's a front end to users to come and buy a game and download it. That company that runs it, they make money off of those sales. Nintendo's not just making money off of their first party, properties. They're making money off of everything that's sold. Just the way it is, man. So they state Pactors of the view that although platform exclusives make money, they're foregoing a lot of revenue by skipping other platforms. Maybe, but I mean, Nintendo became one of the most profitable companies in Japan by following what they think is the best way of doing business, not what this analyst, thinks, that always says things that are kind of weird. And, it is what it is. But that's my rant and ramble. Like, I just kind of, going off here today. It's not that serious, though. Like, I really don't care. I just think it's funny, man. But, yeah, share your opinions. If you guys, be mad at me for thinking exclusives are a good thing, whatever, dude. I don't care. Have a good one. Bye.